There we go. That's better. Jesus Christ. Alrighty. um. So how was? So how was SummerSlam, guys? how was SummerSlam? Cause I got a few things to say. Because a lot went down at SummerSlam, and we all know that. But I think it's one of those things where, since it went down in such a big moment, there'll be a little bit of talk. Like, a lot of people didn't get it when I said, "Hey, this show is kind of massive. I recommend that people stay tuned for it," and a lot of people did. I'm very thankful for that. That a lot of people kind of tuned in. But yeah, so I think Cliff Notes version. Darby Allin won the not inaugural, what's the annual, there it is, that's the word, the annual SummerSlam Gauntlet match, gives him a right to challenge. Rey Mysterio turned on Ilya Dragunov, now turning himself heel, but the big two big ones actually is that Riot Squad, all three of them, so Ruby Soho, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, all debuted / return if you're counting Liv Morgan, but also CM Punk screwed Jai Phillips. The Kings have aligned themselves with CM Punk, and now Adam Cole cashing in his Money in the Bank. He is now your world champion. A lot to unpack. So hopefully this show can unpack it. with any luck, at least. With any luck. So, without further ado, let's smash this one, shall we? Let's smash this show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ECW. I'm your host, Scott Silver, coming to you live from the All Phones Arena in Sydney, Australia.
Is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Seattle, Washington, weighing in at 175 pounds, R.B.
We are sold out here, 55,000 in attendance, as we start off with the man who won the SummerSlam Gauntlet match, Darby Allin, coming out on top against some of the most heavy hitters in ECW. He now has a right to challenge for any championship of his choosing, minus the world title. But this will be his debut in singles competition. Of course, topping off the debuting Joseph De La Cruz and Oba Femi to outlast those two to pick up the victory, to pick up the contract. And now it seems he's trying to warm himself up to try to get a good headspace of ECW, trying to see what championships are worth cashing in on. And what better than the man who holds the throne, the former Brian Pillman Jr., Mr. Lexus King.
And his opponent from Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing in at 223 pounds, Lexus King.
Lexus King, arguably one of the most gifted acrobats in all of ECW right now. A man who is very much in what we have nicknamed in the wrestling industry the Dolph Ziggler position. Someone who is an extraordinary wrestler, but somehow can't get a shot at a championship. But a win over Darby Allin could possibly put him in a position where Darby has to defend the #1 contendership against him. But we're starting off here today. Darby Allin, Lexus King, post SummerSlam. The bell has rung and we are officially underway, and immediately a crucifix slam from Darby Allin. Darby Allin, definitely smaller than Lexus King, but it seems like he's not letting that become an issue. Thought about going outside to grab some weaponry, but now has started up the chain wrestling. The most important part of a wrestler's repertoire, as shown by Lexus King, reversing it and adding in a grapple of his own. But now, look at this. Headlock. Good chain wrestling here for both men, and now, right now, going shot for shot right now, trying to take the arm. Darby in a difficult position right now. Lexus King trying to show him that he doesn't belong here. But now the elbows get some distance between the two, but then immediately locked back in. Some chain wrestling once again. The fans quite electrified to see if Darby can be a proper wrestler. Just like people think he can, but gets thrown into the ropes. Dropped down by Lexus King. Leapfrog. Try to trip him up, but caught by Darby. And now a roll-up pin. Really sweet roll-up pin, if I do say so myself, but a kick at it too. Kicked straight to the spine. And again, both men fighting for position. Lexus King finding the headlock. Now look at this. Darby Allin again just using the weakness of Lexus King's legs, trying to trip him up any chance he gets. He's done this a few times. Knee and the kick of the back of the skull. Roll-up pin though. Roll-up pin from Lexus King after that combo. But a kick out at one. Now look at this. Trying to rope in that submission, but a rope break. Legs underneath the ropes. That does indeed count in this type of matchup. Now possibly looking for some springboard action in a nice clothesline. Now both men trying to hit each other simply in the face. Trying to do this the old-fashioned way. And Lexus King telling him to bring it, that he's not welcome here. And now the it kicks under the side of the skull. Like his theme song says, it's his way and his life. Leapfrog and a nice power slam. But again, a roll-up pin, but this time from Allin. Roll-up pin didn't even get to the 1 count. And now, well executed inverted slam, and now moonsault from the middle rope. And now heading the top rope. What could we expecting? Darby's element is at the ropes. Crossbody. Just trying to wear down Lexus King. The best of his abilities. Now in the corner, trying to look for something big. And a nice neck breaker. Now if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Going to the corner once again, but now Lexus King set up in the other one, trying to go for a missile drop kick. Alexis King was able to get out of harm's way, and now he will reap all the rewards Darby now back to his feet, gets thrown into the ropes. Try to trip him up once again, but Darby again catching it. Now throwing him into the ropes. And the knee and the back to the skull once again. But now finally getting the trip up. Pulling him to the center of the ring as Darby getting back up. Now scooping him up and a Falcon Arrow. But a kip up from Darby Allin, but Lexis King isn't having it. Has it, and a switch. Straight down, back first. But a kick out at 2 from Darby Allin. Now the multiple kicks. Lexis King has found his placement. Backstabber. Now, what is Lexis King thinking? Getting some distance between the two. Trying to go for a clothesline, but Darby Allin catching him. Missile drop kick straight from the corner. And now cover from Allin. But a kick yet at 2 from King. And now look at this. Coffin drop. Cover from Darby Allin. Coffin drop. But somehow a kick out at 2. Darby Allin seeming to say that he's going to put this away. Clothesline, and now Lexis will roll the outside, try to get some breathing room, but Darby quick to follow him. Now the kicks to the side of the skull. The count has started, trying to go for a knee to the skull, but Lexis King back on offense. Super kick to the skull. And now taking off the turnbuckle padding, exposing it. The count has gotten to 6. Saying that he's possibly not done with him, but now look at this. Darby Allin possibly trying to wait a minute. Is he going to try to win via count out? And I think that is exactly what Darby's going to do. How about that? Trying to save himself for his champion of his choice. Winning via count out. Definitely an interesting way to kick off Darby Allin's one-on-one career. You can only be thinking, after all this punishment, was that a ploy to save himself, or was that a last-minute ploy to get the victory? We do not know. But all we know is that Darby walks out of here victorious.
Here's your winner.
Congratulations, Darby Allin, as we move on to our next match. And now we have ourselves some women's competition. And a storm is here and is breezing past with the women's Money in the Bank contract. Jade Cargill has arrived in Australia.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Orlando, Florida,
Jade Cargill coming out on top against Maya Rogers at SummerSlam, capturing the women's Money in the Bank contract. So now the perfect world that the members of Demolition have built for themselves now has someone willing to take it all down. Jade Cargill has fought members of Demolition before, so she's no stranger to them if she's choosing to cash in anytime soon. But right now, having a match one-on-one against Tiffany Stratton. Jade Cargill has only tried to face Tiffany Stratton once back in WWE, and they never got a decisive winner. But now they get to fight one-on-one tonight. As the most beautiful woman in ECW steps up to the plate to try to put herself on a pedestal right next to Jade Cargill.
And her opponent from Prior Lake, Minnesota, Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany Stratton, last year, the people nominated her as the person that should 100% be holding a championship. And this could possibly be the rocket that she needs to be strapped to her in order to get anywhere close to that opportunity again. Jade Cargill's ready. Tiffany Stratton is ready. Women's competition, and we are off to the races. And immediately drop kick from Tiffany straight out the gate. Immediately a little bit of taunting standing moonsault by Stratton. But now quickly reversal from Cargill. Cargill's had a lot of time to make up her repertoire. Showing off what she can do in a dire situation, of course. Beating Maya Rogers. Both women are former ECW Women's Champion going out of that SummerSlam. But now Stratton trying to get her name right up against those two. So they both locked up, and Stratton seeming to have the upper hand here into the corner. The official will break it up. But look at Stratton there. Cheap right hand from Stratton. Pulling their hair and ripping their head back onto the mat. Could this be a new Stratton that we're seeing? A Stratton that might do whatever it takes to win. Drop kick to the back. Jade Cargill. Cargill back up to her feet, but a clothesline from Stratton. Both women will go to the outside, but Jade making sure that everything stays within the ropes. Again, both of these women will lock up. But now the power of Jade Cargill trying to be shown. But now Tiffany saying, whatever you can do, I can do better. And again will whip the hair straight down onto the canvas. And now the kick. And again, just a cheap way to make sure that Jade stays down. But Jade's not staying down for much longer. Effortlessly picking her up and slamming her down. And now trying some springboard of her own, springboard crossbody. But what the hell, the lights are out. And Jade, that's Cora Jade's music. Cora Jade. We thought Demolition wasn't going to go anywhere near tonight's show. But look at this, Cora Jade inside the ring. Try to go. Try to distract her. What the hell was that attempt? Got caught out, so she's deciding to walk away, and I think that may have just peeved Jade Cargill off more than actually dealing damage. Could this be a psychological mindset? I don't know, but Tiffany definitely taking advantage. Now Jade Cargill, again now, that's the mindset, blinded by her anger, and now, backbreaker. Now Stratton in almost complete control of this matchup. And into the corner now. What is Stratton thinking? Getting some distance between the two. Going straight to the chest. Now going for the cover. Middle of the ring. But a kick out at 2. Try to go double kick straight to the skull. Stiff right. Now we'll throw her about. Stratton definitely has been training and then some. Now, and a swanton bomb as well. Going for the cover on Jade. But a kick out at 2. That could have been a lot closer. Could this have been Cora Jade's plan to get in the head of Jade Cargill to show her that Demolition is not done fighting for the Miss Money in the Bank contract? But now Jade, look at this. Back body drop. Back into the swing of things. Knee straight to the face of Stratton. Hoisting her back up and now throwing her into the ropes. And a big boot sends her straight back down. Going for the cover on Stratton. But a kick out at 2. Now pulling her. What is Cargill thinking? Trying to get her back to her feet. And now has her locked in. Jaded! Cover to win the match. But a kick out at 2. The Jaded, not enough. Middle rope now. Cargill straight there onto the chest of Stratton. And now the stomps to the back of the head. Again, when we said that Jade Cargill was a bit pissed off, I think that was an understatement. Because look at all of the tricks she's pulling out of the bag right now. But to give Stratton just that little bit of a chance to capitalize. A kick out at 2, not enough. Kick straight to the spine. Getting her back up to her feet. Now what is Stratton thinking? Straight into the corner. Stiff forearm. And now has it up. And a spinning splash. Straight there onto Cargill. But still not enough to put her away. You can tell that Stratton is getting desperate to try to pull a win out of somewhere. Knee straight to the skull. What is Stratton going to do? Trying to pull her out to that side of the ropes. But Cargill, a little bit too strong for that. Now throws her into the ropes herself. Throws her up. And her own variant of a Samoan drop. Cover. And gets the win. Despite the distraction, despite the mental game being played by Demolition's Cora Jade, Jade Cargill still walks out of this match the victor. You can only imagine that tonight she'll be clutching the women's Money in the Bank briefcase as she thinks about her next move against Demolition after they've thrown their flag up, showing that they are definitely not done pursuing her. But despite all of that, a phenomenal match by these two women We can't wait to see how it goes moving forward. Right here is where everyone thought that this would have finished. The spinning splash. And look how close it came to the despair. But then right here, the momentum of that Samoan drop, picking Jade up and getting the victory.
Here is your winner, Jade Cargill.
Congratulations, Jade Cargill. We'll be really interested to see how this unravels in the weeks to follow. And now, the man who has been on a few people's lists after SummerSlam, finally squashing the bad blood between him and his father, teaming up to take down the Kings.
The following contest is a handicap match. Making his way to the ring from Sydney, Australia, weighing in at 220 pounds, the Outlaw Jackson Rogers.
Wait a minute. Did I hear handicap match? My files here don't say it's a handicap match, but regardless, a hero's welcome for the Outlaw Jackson Rogers, the former television champion. Coming straight in. I swear, is this an actual handicap match? My papers say here it's a standard 1v1. I'm just receiving a word from our backstage officials that there has been some creative changes to this match as per GM, which of course, General Manager CM Punk, a man that has a lot to answer for with his actions from SummerSlam. So, whether we like it or not, this is a handicap match now against Jackson. Who's it gonna be? Oh, now this making perfect sense. And look at them! Look who's behind Ethan right there, the man himself. So this all but confirms what the online speculations have been talking about. That the Kings, Ethan and Wade, have now aligned themselves with the man in charge. CM Punk, the general manager of ECW, now practically has 2 bodyguards.
And their opponent at a combined weight of 483 pounds, Ethan King and Wade King, the United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom, the men that lost in their tag team match at SummerSlam. It seems like they're trying to get some revenge here. I mean, that's the only reason as to why, I'm assuming. Ethan on the left, Wade on the right. Previous champions in their own right. This can only go downhill And, oh, come on! This has got to be something else. Most handicap matches are tag team style, that the two people that are teaming up on the one man have to tag in and out. But now look at them, both in the ring at the same time. But it seems Jackson holding his own super kick. Trying to take him out quickly, but now a Hurricane Runner from Ethan. Now Wade. Oh, look at this. Jackson now familiar with the both of them, of course, having more history with Ethan over their feud on the television championship at WrestleMania last year. But Wade King now, straight shots. Now look at that, the same maneuver from their so-called mentor, or former mentor now I should say. But now the clothesline, but again, how are you meant to deal with the numbers game when they're both in the ring with you at the same time? And of course, look at that, our general manager, our fearless general manager helping out the Kings. A man who delivered 2 go-to-sleeps to Jai Phillips, practically costing him the title and calling his SWAT team out with him. Now look at this, both men just trying to deal as much damage as possible to Jackson Rogers, but Jackson's still trying to hold his own. But just when you think you're done with one, the other just comes in beaming. Now the counters straight into the steps, and that is what Jackson has to do in this match. Use as much weaponry as possible. Now what is Wade trying to break away? And look at this, Ethan just mocking him. Straight into the barricade goes Jackson. And now the clothesline across the barricade as well from Wade King, the brutalizer. And now Jackson now holding his own. Trying to not let Ethan have kind of any of his attention. But now I think he's about to chair shot and into Wade King, who continues the punishment. Thrown into the back and the neck breaker as well, saying, "Do I have your attention now?" Wade King. And now this is a swanton bomb, but Jackson getting out of harm's way. Now, look at that. Now Wade possibly in danger. Look at this. And straight up. Try to go for a clothesline there, but again, Jackson, knowing these two very well, he has had to have some chats with his father about how these two operate ahead of their match at SummerSlam, and now he's using it to his full advantage here tonight. Now look at this roll-up pin, trying to end this quick, but a rope break, unfortunately, stopping this from being a quick match. But now, holding him up, and he's got the one in the chamber. But Ethan there to break up the pinfall, telling him, is that all he's got? Drop kick. Jesus Christ. Crossbody, but Jackson trying to sidestep out of everywhere possible. Now look at this Wade King kendo stick across the back at Jackson, giving him enough moment, but not enough. Try to go for a one in the chamber once again. Now Blue Thunder Bomb. Now a sledgehammer. Wade thinking about something else. Straight there with the kendo stick on the backs of the legs. Now try to go for a sledgehammer shot. but came up short. But now, back into the ring, all three men. Thrown into the exposed turnbuckle. But not enough for finally a pin in this match. But a kick out at 2. Jackson not wanting to give up just yet. This is an absolute brutal match up. Getting up, another Blue Thunder bomb in a different variety. This is literally the destruction of Jackson in real time. He is not able to defend himself from both Kings. He can sure as hell try. He has been trying. Like right now, DDT to Wade King. Trying to just wear down one of the Kings. Hoisting him up. Power slam. Now staring down a former rival. And then some, thrown into the corner. And he gets the Full Metal Jacket. FMJ out of nowhere. But a kick out at 2. Jackson's not looking too hot. Crossbody from Ethan. Something's not right. Jackson's being a little too careful with moves he's doing. I do not like where this is going. Jackson trying his best to stay in the fight. Straight off the apron goes the skull of Ethan King. Now back into the ring, and both the Kings will follow. Try to possibly go for something here, but Gens get kicked back from Wade. Gets thrown into the ropes. Snap suplex. Now Jackson trying to get back to his feet, but then gets met again by Wade King. Thrown across the ring. And now will get thrown once again. This has got to be one of the most unfair matches I've seen in recent memory. Kendo stick shot from Ethan. And now going for the cover. Jesus Christ. Kicked out and getting benched by Wade King. Try to go for a power slam, but Jackson able to catch him. But look who's right there to try to stop him. Right there, Wade King hoisting him up. But then look at this. Jackson trying to get any kind of momentum here. Now trying to get somewhere, trying to get a maneuver locked in. But look at this, Wade just wailing on him. And now the chair, but catches the chair. And you can see, Jesus Christ, I just realized that the bruises all across Jackson. Rogers, he can try his best. Jesus Christ. No, Jackson landed wrong there. I'm sorry, but commentary is difficult. I think Jackson genuinely landed wrong there. That did not look right under any means. Sister Abigail there. Crossbar, Jesus Christ. Practically compressing his fucking neck. And a Blue Thunder bomb as well. No, that's it. I'm getting medical out here. I'm getting medical out here to stop this match. This is ridiculous. And here we go, promo time from the Cruiserweight champion, Mr. Ilya Dragunov. Hopefully he can give his perspective about what happened at SummerSlam. Saying out of all the people, he is the one that did not expect what happened. That he feels betrayed, that he feels manipulated, and that if there's anyone that he wants to hear from, it would be Rey Mysterio himself. And just as he says that, Rey Mysterio coming down, wearing different kind of masking gear, and him saying that if he wants someone to blame, he can blame himself. That he was more focused on being the Cruiserweight champion than he was being in a tag team. That he only cared about himself. He only cared about what he wanted to do and not how his tag team partner felt. Now, Ilya... Oh my God! That is what happens when you turn on a tag team partner. Ilya Dragunov absolutely enraged. And now, these two... We're going to have a fight on our hands. Ilya Dragunov trying to get some revenge after what had happened at SummerSlam. Rey Mysterio turning on his former tag champion partner. And now Ilya, the Mad Dragon, definitely showing how mad he truly is. Snap! Suplex. Trying to give Rey a little bit of his own medicine. Trying to go top rope. What is he thinking here? Ilya Dragunov trying to go for a elbow strike, but came up short. And now look at this. Rey drop kick. And now Rey trying to mimic the same beatdown that he gave Ilya. But now Ilya, I think Ilya snapped again. Trying to go again, the clothesline twice now into the corner. Again, Rey. How has security not come down? Power slam onto the mic. Jesus Christ, but Ilya again not letting up. The rage in him is too much. Thrown into the ropes and thrown over. Security was finally able to separate the two, as the hardcore champion has now come forth. This man right here, Mr. Jacob Fatu.
The following is an Extreme Rules match. Making his way to the ring from Sacramento, California, weighing in at 285 pounds, the ECW
And before we get into this match, I've just received an update on Jackson Rogers after that. After what I assumed was an injury, and the doctors have now confirmed it. And they say, quote here, the amount of damage to Jackson Rogers' neck and spine is definitely not good, and is a lot worse than we originally expected. Just from a observation standpoint, he may possibly need spinal fusion in order to repair what has been done here tonight by the Kings. I knew that he had landed wrong one too many times. The fact that Jackson Rogers could be sidelined because of the Kings, you can imagine how Liam Rogers would feel. But right now we have to focus on this match as the Hardcore Champion now going one-on-one with a Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. Possibly trying to get himself a shot at the Hardcore Championship. Let's see how this pans out.
From Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
Drew trying his best to hold on to a championship chance. Last time he got a chance like that was for the ECW championship against CM Punk last year. And it seems that the fans are in the corner of McIntyre. But immediately Fatu trying to bring the reality down to earth. Power bomb. Now trying his hands at a springboard, but came up short. Now Drew McIntyre will try to capitalize. Now power bomb position. What is he going to do with it? Face first into the top turnbuckle. But Fatu back to his feet rather quickly. Drop kick will send McIntyre down. And straight to the midsection, back to his feet. Try to get him to just throw him down, but the lariat reversal from Fatu. And now some weaponry will come out to play. Steel chair. We saw how that was used against Jackson a few moments ago. Now straight across the knee of Drew McIntyre as he goes for the cover. The kick out at 2. Back to his feet now. And now the snake eyes to Drew McIntyre. Try to end the cross body as well. Springboard cross body. Trying to honor his Samoan lineage. Thrown into the ropes, drop down, leapfrog, and now up in the air with that Samoan drop. And now a multitude of strikes from the Hardcore Champion. Kip up from Drew straight into a super kick. Fatu right now has all bases covered, but a sidestep away from another super kick attempt. Now Drew trying to get just a little moment of control. He now goes digging for the extended long ladder, connecting the apron of the ring to the announce desk. A quite literal line drawn in the sand that Fatu will immediately go over. The reversal from McIntyre. Some stiff rights from the Scottish psychopath. And now thrown onto the ladder. And now, Snake Eyes off the steel. Thrown back into the ring. Trying to look for some kind of opportunity. And he's finding a German suplex. Going for a cover. Trying to see if that's enough to put Fatu away. A kick out at 2. And now stomp straight to the skull. Trying to wear down Fatu in any way, shape, or form. But Fatu, all gas, no brakes. And this car's about to drive right into a wreckage. Because Fatu trying to do whatever he can, but Drew's still hanging on. And now thrown into the corner. And again, Drew will use that chance to find some weaponry. Not try to capitalize. Now, look at this. Fatu trying to go for a crossbody. It came up short. Now a sledgehammer to the back. If this is a way to put Fatu out, this is definitely one of them blocking the super kick attempt. And now the Glasgow Kiss. Glasgow Kiss. Sending down Fatu. But a kick out at 2. That is one of the closest I've seen of almost getting a pinfall victory over Fatu in the last few months. Now look at this. Parading him around. And the deadlift slam. And now, seeming like he's counting it down. Claymore kick attempt, but it not. And a clothesline will capitalize. We thought we would see the Claymore connect, but Fatu able to get it up, and now the spike straight onto the neck of Drew McIntyre. Now, Drew McIntyre shoulder barging Fatu out of the way. Both men using unreal amounts of power, leg drop top of the rope to try to outdo one another. Bringing back that steel chair from earlier. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Straight to the back of Fatu. Again and again and again. Could this be it to put Fatu away? Finally getting a loss on his record, but a kick out at 2. Ever since winning the Hardcore Championship from Wade King, has been pretty much unbeatable. Drop kick will send Drew down. Drew, right now, one of the closest people I've seen to possibly beating Fatu. But that won't be confirmed until it's all said and done. Trying to go for that moonsault. Trying to go for the 5-star moonsault and came up short. Now into the room and a Claymore kick. Claymore kick out of nowhere. Cover. By a kick out at 2. So close and yet so far. And now Fatu trying to capitalize. Now having blood dripping from his skull. But Drew able to get back up to his feet. And look at this. Has him up. Future Shock DDT. Onto the bleeding skull. Not going for a cover. But however, looking for some steel of his own. A suplex on that is not pretty, ladies and gentlemen. Now, into the ropes, trying to go for a Claymore kick once again. But reversed on by Fatu. Now, try to go for a double axe handle, but came up short. And now Drew McIntyre with some offense. And now Fatu, elevated DDT! Cover on McIntyre! But a kick out at 2. Drew trying to get some breathing room on the apron. The ref almost in his way. Both men trying to dodge each other's attempts at offense. And now drop down from Fatu and holding him up, and a Samoan drop onto the ladder. The steel practically bending him in half, and a diving headbutt. Cover. That has got to be it. No, it's not. Drew is still in this. Now, up again with the Samoan drop. And now, top rope. And the Uso splash. That has got to be it. Valiant effort. McIntyre kicking out. And now drastic times comes for drastic message. Tried for the 5-star moonsault, but came up short once again. But now McIntyre on the ladder that he set up. Praying to his Samoan lineage. Just waiting for him to come back off to use the sledgehammer. Directly onto the spine. And again into the midsection. Fatu is putting Drew McIntyre through the ringer, and another spike pile driver. Drew somehow still able to move his body. Honestly, I'm just as surprised as you are. And now hoisting him up and then throwing him onto the apron. That doesn't tickle, everyone. But now top rope goes McIntyre. But realizing Fatu was going to get back into the ring, he chose to pivot. Big boot sends him down. And now trying one more time. Countdown. And a Claymore kick connects. Cover to beat the unbeatable Fatu. And he does it. Drew McIntyre just pinned the Hardcore Champion. What people thought was impossible has now been proven without a shadow of a doubt. Drew McIntyre could very much be the next in line for a Hardcore title shot. And I think everyone is on board with it. Everyone thought the amount of brutality that Fatu put on McIntyre, that would be it. Along with here, the spike pile driver on the outside, no less. But all it took was one countdown and a Claymore kick to show that Fatu is human.
Here is your winner, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
Congratulations, Drew McIntyre. We're expecting to see you very soon. And now it is main event time. And we begin with the man who now gets to call himself the ECW champion, Mr. Adam Cole, baby. And wait a minute, who the, that's MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Pennsylvania, weighing in at 201 pounds. Champion, Adam Cole.
The hell is this? The last time we saw MJF, he came up short at SummerSlam against Karrion Kross for the television championship. And now he's accompanying Adam Cole to the ring. Of course, we know these two have history in their time in AEW. Both being friends and feuding around the AEW championship. But... What? Is this real? I'm not sure. But all I know is that our newly crowned champion is now taking on Andrade Cien Almas.
And his opponent from Gomez Palacio, Durango, Mexico, weighing in at 230 pounds,
Andrade. Trying to see if he can hang with the newly crowned ECW champion. You can only imagine what everyone else is waiting for in the back to see if Adam Cole is worthy of holding the championship. Just because he's cashed in Money in the Bank, just because he is now crowned and called champion, doesn't mean that he acts like one, like he wrestles like one. Everyone was saying online how fitting it was that for the better course of last year that Adam Cole and Jai Phillips were feuding across the briefcase, only for the next year for Cole to cash in a briefcase to win a title off Jai Phillips. But right now, here we are, our main event, Adam Cole Andrade, match now officially underway. This is giving everyone flashbacks to NXT days of old, the black and gold, where these two have faced numerous times. And collar and elbow tie-up, the first one didn't work as well. And now Andrade pushing Adam Cole onto the ropes. The referee, the official, will get involved in Andrade. Will again just try to use a cheap shot. Again, I think the fans here right now are in a very awkward position because they don't like Adam Cole, but they don't like Andrade more. These are two heels. And I don't even know what the hell Max is at this point. Maxwell, Jacob Friedman, MJF is just out here watching Adam Cole. I don't know why he's out there. I don't know how he's gotten out here, but he is just out here. And now Andrade and Adam Cole trying to show off shot for shot. And you can tell the fans are not interested whatsoever in seeing Adam Cole compete. The fans, both in attendance and online, have started the movement hashtag Jai got screwed. And ever since then, they have hated Adam Cole more often than not. Now gets hooked into the corner. Andrade now the referee is now down, and look at this, MJF with the chair directly to Adam Cole, but Andrade caught it. But look at this, the neck breaker on, straight on. That MJF trying to rekindle his friendship with Adam Cole. And that is why he's out here, to try to make sure that no one is even capable of challenging him for the title. The referee still out, still dazed. Andrade now inverted and slammed down elbow strike. Moonsault connects as well. And now the kick from Adam Cole. Now caught in Enziguri. Now kick to the straight force, and now Andrade hoisting Adam Cole up and then gets thrown down as well. Referee still unconscious. Forearm from Adam Cole. I've seen a few chants. I've seen a few signs saying that Jai got screwed. You can only imagine how Jai Phillips is thinking right now. He's not at the building. He's not even anywhere near tonight's production. He said he wanted to recuperate. He said he wanted to spend time with his family, with his wife. Double knees. Now, referee back up to his feet has now started the count. Knee straight to the skull of Andrade. Adam Cole getting back into the ring. Now we'll go back outside and we'll reset the count. Andrade now with some strikes of his own. A reversal from Cole. Neck breaker. Now I'm just receiving word, not from CM Punk, but from the main man in charge, Mr. Paul Heyman, saying that next week there will be a fatal four-way elimination match to determine the #1 contender for Adam Cole's ECW championship. One of the men will be Andrade, who seems like he's going to win via count out here to try to rub it in his face. How about that? Despite MJF's help, Adam Cole not able to get back in for the count of 10. Andrade will be one step closer. We will see him in that fatal four-way eliminator next week, along with 3 other people, to see who will face Adam Cole for the title.
Here is your winner, Andrade.
Just like that, that has been our show. A lot of countouts, a lot of questions unanswered. I hope you enjoyed. I've been Scott Silver, and I will see you when I see you. Take care.